It's Friday, so let's take time to look in on Celebland and find out what's been going on in our Showbiz Spotlight this week. Now, the big showbiz event of the week was, of course, the Brit Awards, and the lady who stole the show was undoubtedly New York's Lady Gaga. The poker-faced singer picked up a trio of gongs and certainly stood out from the crowd. Look at her. Wow, what an outfit. She also revealed that she's dyed her hair blonde to avoid looking like Amy Winehouse. And to have, she's determined to have her own unique look. Well, dressed like that, I would say she definitely is a one-of-a-kind. But how important has it been to us to have our own signature style and image, or do we even have one?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, we like to aspire to some kind of image, but I remember when I first started in the business and I was doing a film pretty much... not clothed, with Oliver Reed on a desert island, and it was very hard to escape.
Oh, is that it? Oh, my goodness, Amanda!
And it was, you know, it wasn't my intention to become some sort of raving sex symbol, but of course the tabloids got hold of those pictures and...
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Oh, don't. And of course I was young and naive and I had no idea. You're just thrown into the lion's den. And there you are, lumbered with this, you know, sex symbol image. But it's not necessarily what you are at all.
That's interesting, though, that you had your sex symbol image thrust upon you, if you like, because I started my professional life, I suppose, for about 10 years. I was a straightforward opera singer, you know, just whoa, wobbling away very happily. And then at the English National Opera, we had this new guy came, a new... chap who just wanted to give us a bit of a revamp, and he suggested I did a photo shoot and a bit of a done. And I'd never done a photo shoot in my life. You know, this was a whole new world. Opera singers didn't really go in for that. And I arrived at this studio, and John Stoddard was the photographer, and he's a wonderful photographer, and there was a great row of designer clothes, most of them see-through, I have to say, most of them diaphanous and black and gorgeous, a lot of chiffon. And I was like a kid with sweets, so like 50 Christmases all at once. And I had the best time of my life. I'll never forget it. And I was just photographed in these very see-through clothes and loved it. And I had no idea I was going to...
You wanted to change your image?
Well, no, it just happened. I had no idea what was going to...
When you saw the posters on the tube,
what
did you...
Who the hell is that? I had no idea. But it changed my life, actually. It completely changed my life, because I was on all the tubes, and I got... As a result of that, because do you remember Nigel Lithgow?
Yeah.
Discovered Hearsay and all that. He saw it, and he happened to be doing a Christmas special, Bruce Forsyth. This is going back now about 15 years. And I got my first Christmas special from my first piece of telly from that. I got my first record deal from that. And indirectly, I actually met my husband through that. So it was an incredibly...
So you got all that from just being a bit naked and a bit of chiffon?
Yeah, I did.
That's one heck of a makeover, eh?
Good example, isn't it?
Wow.
But she had the talent to back it up.
I just went with the instinct, you know. Obviously, I had an instinct for taking my clothes off, and I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, you know, I mean, I was lucky enough to be at the Brit Awards this week, and I saw the Lady Gaga performance, and I do think that I'm sort of a bit of a halfway house with this. I don't know if it's such a great thing for her to have such an outrageous image, because I think it really detracts from what is an amazing talent that she has, which is writing great songs and singing beautiful vocals. So on the night when she came on, looking like Elton John from a distance, and she did, I was quite far back, I thought, do you know what, I'm not going to watch this performance, I'm just going to listen. And I turned my back to her, and it sounded amazing. Yeah. And I think actually a lot of... she's very cartoon-like, isn't she? I think sometimes that really takes away from what she's great at, but... At the same time, pop stars should be cartoon-like, shouldn't they? They should be elaborate.
She's great.
And
The thing about her is it
life.
is working for her, because she's getting all the awards, and I look forward to seeing her because of the ridiculous outfit.
But if that was your Kira in 10 years' time and she came home and said, Mum,
What do you think?
what do you reckon? Well, I've got a lampshade on my head.
Well, the thing is, having been a major trendsetter of the 70s...
Oh, yeah.
Hey, did you ever see the Von Trapps?
No, but I did see this. There they are. You look like Jeanette Crenchey.
I don't look look as good as Jeanette. Why am I levitating in that picture?
You're the one with your feet off the ground, aren't you?
Yes.
I think young people are much more concerned with their image. As you get older, you kind of, you know, it's the pyjamas and going down Tesco's in the pyjamas. We all do it. We've all done it. But yes, being a young woman, I was obsessed with my looks and have changed my hair colour, the punk rock gear, the whole thing.
Well, see, Coleen was dressing like that at a time that Britain was in the throes of punk.
Yeah. I was. We used to get spat at top of the pops every week by the punks.
Oh. Do you know what? If they weren't so hard, I'd have had them for you.
Yeah, well, you probably would. But the thing is, the thing about it is, yeah, in those days we were told what to wear, how to wear it, and we all had to wear the same. And the thing is there's 15 years between me and my elder sister, so putting us all, you know, a 15-year-old and a 30-year-old in the same outfit, see how I work the maths out then? I'm quite clever.
Carol Vorderman's with us, everyone. Now, also on the night at the British band Kasabian were literally falling over themselves to collect their award for Best British Band. The band's frontman, Tom Meehan, went flying, bless him, as he rushed up to the stage. Not ideal, considering 5 million people were watching. In fact, some might say that was pretty embarrassing. But we've all been there, not to that extent, and I think he handled it beautifully because he just acknowledged it, gave it a little round of applause and milked his moment of glory.
I think the British audience is a lot more forgiving, that sort of thing. They've got a bit of a sense of humour bypass in LA, because I remember being at the Liar Liar premiere, huge Hollywood premiere, red carpet. All the actors were being interviewed on a podium outside the cinema before they went in. And it was my turn next, and I staggered up there in my high heels and my tight dress. He started asking me questions, and then suddenly I disappeared. I'd stepped back and fallen off the podium. Humiliating.
What about you, Paul? Have you ever had a Kasabian moment?
Well, not until yesterday, actually. Funny you should mention that. Because what happened was, my 2 boys are in the studio at the moment doing their new tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm very excited. So I had Kira with me, and while we were there, I was making tea for everyone. And Kira thought it'd be very funny to put a thing on my back saying "Tea Lady," written in big black letters with gaffer tape. All very funny in the studio. Pretend I didn't know. Ha, ha, ha. Meanwhile, afterwards, I then took her to Hamleys to treat her because it's half-term week and all of that. And while I'm walking around Hamleys, everyone's, like, looking at me, and I'm thinking, God, I must be really famous because everyone's... And this woman came over and went, "Excuse me," and I went, "Yes." "Who's it to?" And she went, "You've got something on your back." Can't tell you how mortified I was.
Kids, eh?
Mortified,
I know
yeah.
what you mean. Always
Anyway, I didn't buy her anything.
Comes when you least expect it, doesn't it? I know. I remember I was on a beach and I'd take my tray of chips out for the kids because they were screaming for food, like they do, and these seagulls came and attacked us, and they were taking bits out of my children's heads. So I started wafting away at these seagulls to get rid of them, and everything popped out. And this woman came up with a beach ball and said, "You're one of those loose women, love, aren't you? A bit looser than usual today. Do we sign the beach ball?" Terrible.
Okay. Well, on that note, we're going to take a little breather, but...